God here. And then let's dream about how we display God while we are on earth for a few years. And I'm almost certain everyone was looking at me thinking, no, seriously, girl, where's the funny story? But then something happened. God's Spirit blew in, and with their eyes cutting across the room, hoping maybe it was safe enough, the women slowly let words fall out. I honestly don't care about God. I don't think God cares about me. I am afraid what people will think. I want a comfortable life. My spouse won't be on board. I think I will fail. I have nothing to give God. I don't think my life even matters this much. Then, with all the mess of it pooling on the floor of our cabin, I looked around the room and saw a hint of something. A little sparkle. Possible hope in their eyes. Maybe this isn't life, I thought. These thoughts can't be from God. The worries that had consumed each person moments before all of a sudden looked miserably ridiculous staring back at them. The realization needed no words to help form it. We were faced with a simple, striking image. Strong, resourced, rescued people, full of God, going through life completely shut down by lies and fear. Could it be possible there is more to life than this? We were all certain that there was, and with all the chains on the floor, we could almost taste what we had been missing. We were about to remember what running with abandon felt like, what purpose felt like, what dreaming felt like, what freedom felt like. Do you need to remember that there is more? How to run freely, what purpose feels like, what freedom feels like. Some of us have decorated our prison walls so beautifully that we have altogether forgotten we are sitting in a cell, wasting our lives. We don't know there are chains that, though they no longer bind us, still seem to tangle us up. We sit and listen to talks or read books about God, and we wonder why nothing changes when we so desperately want it to. Where stories are built. When I saw Batman Begins for the first time, I kept punching my husband's arm because I was coming out of my skin. I was so moved, so inspired. Batman Begins, in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, is hands down one of the best films on planet Earth. A young Bruce Wayne watches as his parents are shot and killed, and he spends the next decade of his life seeking revenge, wandering the world as a restless, unsatisfied, lost soul, and committing crimes. Bruce is insanely wealthy, trained, and gifted, but he has nothing to live for, no focus, no drive, other than pain. I picture his life as a bunch of loose threads, his pain, his wealth, his potential, his training, his gifts, the fate of his city blowing around in the wind as he tries to escape his pain. These are threads he wishes he could cut. They have no semblance of order or purpose. They seem to be entangling him, certainly not empowering him. I picture his life when I look into most people's eyes. They have a similar look to them, hungry, unsettled, slightly unsure. But you can see in others only what you have tasted yourself. Somewhere in the chaos of Batman's search, the threads of his life begin to untangle and weave themselves into something new, something potentially epic. Bruce can't escape the great pain and need screaming all around him in his home city of Gotham. So despite his reluctance and suffering, the threads of his life somehow bind together and equip him to meet that great need. The need finds him. Ironically, his purpose is woven together with the very threads that seemed to entangle him. Out of Bruce Wayne's deepest tragedy, fear, and pain, Batman is born. Every one of us has a version of this same story in us. Some of you are thinking, yes, Jennie, I always think to myself, Batman and I have so much in common. For the rest of you, here is where all of our stories converge. You have threads of life blowing around, possibly even strangling you. Threads that are meant to bind together and become your unique, God-given contribution to a world in great need. And not just for a world in need, but our souls were made to find their home in God, with God's purposes for our life. Aching for purpose. No unique purpose for your life will fill your soul. The only thing that will fulfill and settle your soul is God Himself. I am writing while neck deep in the midst of what some may think is a great purpose. Zach and I are running hard toward God and doing our best to complete the works He is putting in our path for us to do for Him.